some things to consider when introducing solid food to your baby. It's really not the age you go by because all babies are not alike, and the growth and motor skills are developed differently. Some babies can sit at 4 months old, but some do when they're 5. So you kind of get the idea. Therefore, you have to assess some skills to see if they are ready to get their first bite. Hello moms and dads! Welcome to Mother Baby Central, your resource for great and practical information regarding pregnancy, postpartum, newborn care, and baby's first year of life. You probably heard that as soon as the baby turns 4 months old, you can start feeding them with solid food. Not really. There's no rush in doing this. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommend to introduce solid when the baby turns 6 months old. So let's first talk about how to tell if the baby's ready for the first solid food before we dive in on what kind of food you should start them with. The first thing is, make sure the baby have a good head and neck control and is able to sit upright independently or with a little support. Secondly, the baby opens the mouth when you're trying to feed with something and is able to swallow the food and not spit it out. And then the third, the baby is able to pick something up with their hands, like grabbing items like toys, spoon, food, and whatever things they can hold on to. So after hearing all that, were you able to check off all the boxes? All right then, let's proceed. There are no hard rules on what food you can give to your little one. The only thing you have to know is to introduce one food one at a time. Why? Simple. To determine food allergies. Monitor for any reactions like rashes, hives, itching, and throwing up. How long should you wait before giving another kind of food? I'd say after 5 to 7 days. So let's circle back and ask the question, what food should you give first? Anything as long as you can mash or puree it to reach a smooth consistency, then that is perfectly fine. A great example is banana, avocado, strawberry, papaya, cantaloupe, yellow mangoes, apple, pear, watermelon, boiled or cooked vegetables so you can easily mash or puree it like potato, carrot, sweet potato, butternut squash, peas, spinach, and so on. The first food you will give should be a single ingredient. Do not combine two fruits initially. You can do that later after making sure there was no allergic reaction when you introduced it the first time. After mashing or pureeing, if the food has thick consistency, thin it out by mixing it with breast milk, formula, or water. You can also give cooked chicken, turkey, and beef, but make sure it is finely minced. Now, important, you can introduce drinking water starting at 6 months of age, but we still can offer breast milk or formula when feeding solids. Again, water is given starting at 6 months of age. Very important, right? Why? Because if water is given earlier, it can cause hyponatremia. What is hyponatremia? It is an abnormally low concentration of sodium in the blood, which can lead to swelling of the brain and death. Sodium regulates the amount of water in the cells in our body. So if there's a very low sodium in the body, it will cause an imbalance and cause serious implications in the body, like I mentioned earlier. Let's talk about cereal. There are varieties you can give: rice, oat, barley, multigrain, and others, but make sure they are fortified. What is fortified? It means there is an added vitamins and minerals. You probably think you have to start with rice cereal when introducing solid food to the baby, but the answer is not necessarily. It is a common misconception. You can start with any single food ingredient, any fruits or vegetables. Then again, how much should you feed and how many times in a day? Start by giving 1 to 2 tablespoons of food. Not much, right? Because the baby's stomach is small. You can gradually increase that as tolerated. If the baby's refusing to eat anymore, don't force it. Feed baby breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a couple snacks in between the meals. There are days when the baby doesn't want to eat more than you prepare, so just let it be. You can try again the following day. If you're loving our content for the day so far, please click the like button and don't forget to share it with whomever you know will benefit from our videos. Moving on, one of the questions you might ask is, how about fruit juice? It should be okay since it has a fruit on it, right? Well, it is recommended to wait until the baby is a year old before giving fruit juice and limit it to 2 to 4 ounces only, mainly because it has a lot of sugar on it. If you insist on giving fruit juice to your baby, then just give pureed fruits mixed with water. Then there you have it, your own homemade healthy fruit juice. Next, I would like to dive in and mention the food to avoid before your baby turns 1. Here we go. Number 1, no honey before 12 months of age. Why? Due to what we call infant botulism. Infant botulism is a serious stomach infection caused by a bacteria that produces toxins inside the body and can make your baby very ill. Don't mix baby food with honey or give any food containing honey. So make sure moms and dads to read the labels before buying any baby food from the stores. The second one is no cow's milk. You have to wait until the baby turns a year old before giving it, because if you introduce it earlier than recommended, it can cause intestinal bleeding. So moms, if you are breastfeeding, you can continue doing so until you feel that you are done. The rest from the list of foods to avoid before turning 1 is more of a common sense. Like no caffeinated drinks, coffee, tea, no sugary food or drinks, fruit juice, soda, sparkling water, cake, cotton candy, no artificial sweetener, no high sodium or salty food like processed food, hot dogs, ham, canned food, packaged or frozen dinners. Also, do not give anything that will not easily melt in the baby's mouth or anything that's sticky like a marshmallow. The best way is to give the food at its most natural state. There are situations where you cannot just offer any food to your baby. Let me share with you the experience I had with my son when he was 4 months old. He developed eczema, a chronic skin condition where red itchy rashes appear on the skin. The pediatrician advised to hold off on giving the most common allergenic foods like eggs, nuts, and fish. So we did that until he was able to get an allergy test when he was a little older. So lo and behold, he really is allergic to these kinds of food. So what I'm trying to say is, as long as your baby doesn't have any other concerns with his health, it should be okay to introduce a variety of foods. Now, pro tip, moms and dads, do not leave your baby unattended. You have to give your undivided attention while the baby is eating, especially when the baby is just starting to eat solid foods. Why? Because of the choking hazard. The baby is just learning new skills like how to chew and how to swallow. That is why it's also very important to mash and cut the food into very tiny pieces before giving it to the baby. Remember, the baby has to be sitting in a sitting position when eating, not lying down, not on the tummy, not crawling, or not even walking, just in a sitting position, okay? It is wise to learn how to perform infant CPR because it also teaches you what to do if a baby or a child is choking. Where to go for the infant CPR class? The best way is Google it. Since we all live in different areas, searching on Google is the best route to take. The Red Cross offers infant CPR classes. So to wrap it up, introduce different varieties of fruits, vegetables, protein, and grains to your little one. The more, the better. And I think if you follow this pro tip, it is possible that you won't have a picky eater in the future. I hope you find value in today's video. Click that subscribe button and join our community. Be well and happy watching!